This is Top 10 Nerd and I'm MJ Watson here saying thanks for clicking on this video where we will be counting down your top 10 weird superhero romances. What I want to know is what your favorite superhero relationship to ship is. Let me know in the comments below, and remember, if you love Top 10 Nerd and you love me, MJ, show it by giving this video a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get weird. Number 10. Black Widow and the Hulk. Maybe the only one on this list that is weird in a cute way. For this relationship we have to turn to the MCU, as Black Widow and the Hulk have never got it on in the comics. Probably why this screen romance caught so many off guard. In fact, I feel like most of us were expecting Hawkeye and Black Widow to get together, as this is a relationship that happened in the comics. When we turn to Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo to ask more about their characters, they say that the two have a lot more in common than people would initially think. Both characters often feel as though they are monsters, and it is this self-reflection that grounds their relationship and really allows them to connect. They see parts of themselves in each other, and see in each other the potential to transcend their monstrous sides of themselves. I think they both inspire each other to be better. So although it is a weird couple to ship, Hulk Tasha is also kinda sweet and great. You just gotta run with this one.
What are you doing?
I'm running with it. With you.
Number 9. Bucky Barnes and GAIL Richards, aka Captain America's fiance. Turning to Good Old Earth 1610 and the Ultimates 2002 series, we discover that there is a reality where Bucky Barnes ended up marrying his best friend Steve's fiance, GAIL Richards. After Steve Rogers went MIA in the war, Bucky and GAIL apparently hooked up, got married, and had 4 children. Needless to say, everyone in that love triangle was a little perturbed when Steve returned years later. Sounds like an awkward situation. Number 8. Any relationship involving Venom. Let's boil this down. If you are dating Eddie Brock when he's Venom, you're not just dating Eddie Brock, you are dating a symbiote. Congratulations. Venom is a character that is very interesting because they are in a relationship with whoever they are bonded to, and then inviting someone else into that relationship, let's just say things can get weird really quickly. Cut to all of the babies Venom has had and how weird that was. Not to mention, Venom just has a weird kinda icky sexy quality. It's not necessarily Venom's fault, they were just drawn that way. The muscles, the tongue, it's just kind of a lot. There are a lot of really twisted takes on romantic moments involving Venom in the comics. Don't believe me? Check New Avengers Annual 3 from 2005, where Venom sexy interrogates Clint Barton, and the intense deadly French kiss the Thing receives from Venom in Venom issue 11 from 2003. Not to mention Eddie Brock and Venom's somewhat unhealthy codependent relationship, which we constantly get examples of in comics, cartoons, and film. Number 7. Doc Ock and Aunt May. This relationship could only exist in the 1963 series The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 131. In this issue, Doc Ock is about to marry Aunt May when Spider-Man shows up to put a stop to it. Although Doc Ock only wants to marry Aunt May because she just inherited a nuclear facility from a dead relative. I know. Weird thing to inherit. Despite this, Doc Ock is actually quite nice to Aunt May, which makes this relationship even weirder. It's also weird because other Spider-Man villains show up wanting to kidnap May instead and steal her away from Doc Ock, which is what Doc Ock could have done, but instead he chose to woo and marry her. Talk about a weird storyline and relationship. Number 6. Steve Rogers and Sharon Carter. Yep. Steve Rogers decides to date Sharon Carter, who while originally in the comics was Peggy's younger sister, has now been established in Marvel as Peggy's great niece. This was changed to help the timeline seem more logical and make more sense, cause, you know, aging. What isn't logical is the idea of these two dating. Although Sharon is an agent working for S.H.I.E.L.D., shares similar interests with Cap, and looks like Peggy Carter, does not mean these two should hook up. It's just, well, creepy. I could go into more detail, but I figured I'd leave the rest to MCU Peggy herself, actress Hayley Atwell, who is quoted saying it best. Hayley is reported saying, "I just feel that, you know, I wouldn't want to date my great aunt's guy. It just feels like it crosses an incestuous boundary. And Peggy just died, that's even more disrespectful, right? It's like, don't touch that. You can't tap that." Number 5. Batman and Batgirl. A lot of controversy around these two, although I cannot deny that there are sparks on screen with them sometimes. Despite that, this relationship still feels forced. Where they have always been portrayed as having a father-daughter relationship in the comics, lately something weird has been brewing between them in Gotham. The two weirdest parts of this relationship are number 1, Batgirl aka Barbara Gordon's romantic relationship with Dick Grayson happening at the same time. This is explored even more in the Batman Beyond 2.0 comic series, where we find out Batgirl was cheating on Dick with Batman and became pregnant as a result. The second weirdest being the age disparity and mentorship between Bruce and Barbara. Not to mention, Barbara is the daughter of Batman's friend, James Gordon. Just ick. Number 4. Black Widow and Ivan Petrovich. Another creepy father-daughter relationship gone wrong. Ivan Petrovich is Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow's adopted father. He saved her after she was thrown from a burning building and took her to the Red Room, where she was trained and grew up to be an amazingly skilled assassin. Ivan follows Black Widow seemingly everywhere and always makes an effort to aid her and keep her safe. However, he also consistently tries to flirt with her and put creepy moves on her. He even professes his love to her, and after she spurns his advances, confessing she will only ever love him as a father, he goes crazy and turns himself into a monster-like cyborg. Talk about a drama queen. Number 3. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch have always loved each other, but no, like, really loved each other. This was a romance never explicitly talked about in the comics, but merely alluded to in the looks the brother and sister duo gave each other, the way they held each other, and some of the things that they said. But being kids to Magneto couldn't have been easy, and maybe those looks and maybe those touches could have been explained simply by them feeling as though they were the only real family they had. Maybe that is why they're also so protective of each other. Nope. Just kidding, because then the 2002 Ultimate Series surfaced, which pretty much all in all confirmed what we'd all been speculating. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, Pietro and Wanda, brother and sister, are in a relationship, and they have been in love with each other since they were kids. So, yeah. And if you think that's bad, that's not even the worst of them. Number 2. Harley Quinn and the Joker. The relationship to almost end all weird relationships, but not quite. Harley Quinn and the Joker have had a messy and abusive on and off again relationship throughout their history together. Harley was actually only kept on in the comic world because she was so popular with the fans. Joker was originally written as a sociopath that only cared about him and himself and never anyone else, which makes it hard for him to date. Although throughout the animated series, multiple comic book series, and on the big screen, we do get genuine moments of affection between these two, there is always a push to follow the pull. Joker has difficulty enjoying the vulnerable parts of himself that Harley brings out. Joker sees Harley as a weakness and is always attempting to eliminate her at all costs, with constant attempts of him trying to murder her being shown in the comics and cartoons.
You always take shots from folks who just don't get the joke.
And Harley always comes back to him because she is codependent and possibly suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, or hybristophilia. Hybristophilia would make the most sense considering her other partners, as it is the attraction to those who have done something bad. Cue Deadshot and Poison Ivy. Though lately Harley has been actively trying to stay away from Mr. J, and thankfully this destructive duo have become somewhat less inseparable than they once were. Number 1. ARISIA Robb and Hal Jordan. A relationship between two Green Lanterns seems normal until we realize this was a big brother, little sister type relationship. In the comics, ARISIA originally is written as an admirer of Hal's. She idolizes him. Then she has a crush on him. Then she's in love with him? She professes her love, to which Hal originally rebukes her for, claiming she is too young for him, specifically pointing out that she is half his age. Eventually, she manages to age herself accidentally, both mentally and physically, using her own willpower and the aid from her Green Lantern ring. Still, Hal says he feels it is wrong, but apparently doesn't really fully mean that, as they still end up together anyway. The beginning of this relationship is followed with a lot of exposition in the comics, explaining why this relationship is really a-okay. And even after the writers changed for the comic series, the relationship somehow was allowed to be continued. When the two finally broke it off, it didn't even predominantly have to do with the age issue. I'm not sure what was weirder, the fact that this was written, or the fact that everyone was seemingly so okay with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Is there a weird superhero romance that didn't make the cut that you'd love to hear more about? Let us know in the comments below. Also, do click that subscribe button so you never miss another nerdy list. This is Top 10 Nerd, I'm MJ saying thanks for watching and urging you to stay nerdy, Tiger.